All right, man. So we're Chingones. Okay, so Mikey cannot be here tonight. David, he might have on. We oh, there, Spencer. Sorry about that. I had to move a couple of things, but all right. Yeah, yeah. I was frozen for a second there. Gordo, gordito should be good now. Mm, let me just send David the chance he'll jump on. All right. So again, Mikey's not going to be able to make it today. David, he'll go ahead. He'll jump on. Am I having? Okay, maybe I just have to make things open. Let me see. Okay, because I'm going to show some video here, but I don't want that to. Okay, all right, all right. Okay, we're back. We're back. Son of a bastard, dog. Okay, all right. Okay, so again, because it was freezing back and forth for a little bit. Okay, so Mikey, he can't make it today. David, he should be jumping on a little bit later on. He's on the road doing some work. He's a retired man, but he still works. God bless the man. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into a few things here. One is so earlier in the week, I went ahead and I talked about Connor Ben getting into Zuffa. And now that there's more coming out about that, now it seems like maybe it wasn't just a one fight deal. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just seems to be like one big soap opera with all this. So like I said yesterday, if you guys watched it, I said, I really don't think 15 mil is for one fight. Okay. Maybe they worded it that way, but I really don't think. And him fighting Regis Prograis, I mean, that's not worth that fatty dog. If it's a flex, that's a lot of money just to flex. But outside of that, let's go ahead and let's get into a couple of things. Let's talk about the fights that happened over the weekend. Okay, so I want to go ahead and talk about Antoine Russell versus shoot, I forgot his name. What's his name? Hirioka, the dude from Japan who flew in like that Thursday to fight that Saturday, and this dude had not been active. I don't really know too much about him, but I'm gonna tell you guys this. He made a fan out of me. I mean, he was just ripping some body shots on Antoine Russell, and I like Antoine Russell. I am a fan of Antoine Russell. Okay, I do like him. Do I think he's the best at 140? I mean, now with Shakur up there, I don't know. But this Hideyoko, if I'm pronouncing his name right, this dude made a fan out of me with the body shots that he was ripping on Antoine Russell. Damn, he made Antoine Russell look very, very average. He exposed him. You know what? I don't know. Does he have okay? Does it always have to be exposed? Okay, just be that maybe this Japanese dude, maybe he's really just that good. I never saw him hurt. And Antoine Russell, I don't want to exaggerate. I don't want to exaggerate like, man, this guy's the most powerful hitter. But Antoine Russell can bang. He can bang. I never saw him hurt him. And when Hiroko, like I said, I'm butchering his name, Gacho. But when I saw him ripping those body shots, and this is a dude who just flew from literally the other side of the world on Thursday. I think he flew actually into Seattle and then from Seattle flew to Nevada. He hadn't been active in about a year, maybe even a little bit more. And he gave Antoine Russell all he can handle. Honestly, I'll be real with you guys, man. If it wasn't for that point deduction, if it were not for that point deduction, maybe Russell loses the fight. Maybe, or maybe it's a draw. Now, some people were saying that, hey, even with the point deduction, they thought Russell lost the fight. I don't think so. I think here's what I think. I think expectations take over somebody's mind. And when it doesn't meet somebody's expectations, it's like, oh, yeah, they lost the fight. It's like, no. I still think Russell won the fight. Now, we all expected him to win a little bit more, convincingly, and he didn't. It was a very hard fight. And those body shots were, gosh, dog. Now, that low blow, I will say that low blow, my sons came over, we're watching it here. The low blows in boxing, usually they're just like right underneath the belt. Chales, dog, this guy went for the jewelry, dog. He went digging for gold, homie. He went right up in between the legs. Like, it was, damn. It hurt to see. It hurt to see that. And by the way, if anybody was to take the full 5 minutes, which I have never seen, I have never, ever, ever seen a fighter take the full 5 minutes. But if there were ever a point for a fighter to take the full 5 minutes, it was that one right there. It was that one right there. Because that low blow just wasn't just a little below the belt. That low blow was way down there, man. And that shot with everything to it, it landed exactly where it counts. And I was like, damn. Even after Antoine Russell was like, all right, let's continue. I'm like, nah, dog, I can still see it in your face. Everyone can still see it in your face. You're still kind of moving around, kind of walking with a little bit of a limp. Dog, take more time. But it was already kind of towards the end of the round already. So it's like, okay, maybe he wanted to sit down. Because that was a gotcha low blow, man. Went all the way behind. That low blow was, that was from something else, man. I'll tell you that. But outside of that, that Japanese fighter, I'm done butchering his name, so I'm not even going to say his name anymore. But he made a fan out of me. I do want to see him fight again. I wouldn't even mind watching a rematch. Do it again. I don't think Russell will do it. I don't know how much money was in the fight for him to do it. But that was a hard-fought fight, dog. And you know what's crazy is that, and we're going to get to the other fights right now, but at the end, when Russell was being interviewed, he's a champion. I don't know. I don't keep up with all the alphabet titles, right? I just know he's a champion. And when he was asked, hey, what do you want next? And he said he wants to unify. But when it came to Shakur, he basically said that he doesn't want Shakur next. Shakur is not on the plans. He wants to leave Shakur for last. He wants to fight all the other guys to unify the belts with them, and then he'll go after Shakur. Which, I don't know, man. It kind of struck me a weird way where I was just kind of like, do you feel like you're not ready for Shakur? Or maybe he does want to just unify the other straps, right? The other fights seem like they're a little bit more winnable for him. So, and then when you fight for Shakur is to unify all the belts. If he could go and grab the other belts, yeah, toda madre. I'm not going to make a big deal about it the way some people are. Because maybe when you fight Shakur, maybe you want it to be a mega fight, is to unify all the straps. So I got no issue with it. But, Antoine Russell, I'm still a fan of his. I still like him. But this Japanese dude, man, he made a fan out of me. The dude's a warrior. The guy can bang, dog. So I like that dude, man. Going pushing rewind a little bit, going back to Beck the Bully just a second. I know you spent too much time on that fight. Beck the Bully went in there and gave that dude everything he can handle. Um, just took him down, dog. I mean, it was pretty. Let me see. Audio check. Can you guys not hear me? Oh man, don't tell me I've been talking. You guys can't hear me. Let me see. No, it should be good. Let me see here. Man, now you got me tripping out over here. Okay, can't hear you as far as right now. No. I think that's on your side, Dimitro. Yeah, yeah, because everything looks good on my side. All right. So anyway, Beck the Bully, he looked good. He did what he was supposed to do. What's next for Beck the Bully? I mean, I think it's time to start moving this guy up a little bit. Some people think he's a hype job. To me, look, I don't think Beck the Bully will ever be great. I don't think he'll ever be great. I just think he's a banger. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. I don't think there's anything special to him. He's one of these Eastern European guys that just want to bang. I'm cool with it. Not every fighter needs to be an elite fighter. Not every fighter. I just want fun fighters. The times where it's like boxers that it's like, man, they got super skills, right? Like a Shakur Stevenson. That's kind of boring. The only time I get excited to watch those guys fight is when they fight somebody that I truly believe, maybe this guy really can beat him. But outside of that, I don't have a good time watching like pure boxers fight if I know the other guy doesn't stand a chance. But you get somebody like Beck the Bully, who I don't think is a great fight. Well, I mean, as fighting, boxing is one thing, but fighting, I think the guy can bang. He can bang. I don't think he'll ever be anything special, but he's fun to watch. Well, I'll watch him. So, we'll see what's up with that. We'll see what's up with Beck the Bully, man. All right. Let's eventually I kind of want to get to the whole to the Ryan thing and Barrios, but before we do that, let's go ahead and get to everything that's going on with no, because I was going to get to the Duarte and stuff, but Frank Martin, I don't think he didn't meet my expectations in this fight. He did not meet my expectations. Now, the other dude, Albright, the only reason why I know who he is because of the whole fiasco that happened with Keyshawn Davis' brother. He beat Keyshawn Davis' brother. I forgot the other brother's name. And then everything that happened in the back, that they were going to jump him. That's the only reason I know Albright. Now, hey, dog, maybe this guy is pretty good. And he looked pretty good against Frank Martin. Now, I never thought Frank Martin was some elite fighter. He picked up boxing pretty late. But I thought he was all right. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know what, Frank? This is your time, man. There's your time. Get rid of this guy to get yourself back into contention, get yourself back in the news, get yourself back of like, hey, don't forget about me over here. Don't forget about me. So, and I was really rooting for Frank Martin. I was. Why was I rooting for Frank Martin? Because I don't know if you guys seen that video that Tito Mercado went up to him, shouts to Pete Town. He went up to him and called him out and said, hey, right after the fight, right after you're done with Albright, let's handle. And Frank Martin was like, yeah, we'll take care of it. It's like, yeah, we'll handle. And of course, he didn't win. He didn't lose either. But I don't know. In my opinion, He lost more than Albright did. I thought Albright gained more off of the draw, and Frank Martin lost off of the draw. So even though it was a draw, which is basically a tie, I thought it helped Albright and actually hurt Frank Martin. Mercado smokes him. I would have liked to see it, man. I would have really liked to seen it. I don't know if you guys saw that video, but it was before Frank Martin. It was earlier this week. I'm sorry, earlier last week. Mercado went up to him and said, "What's up, dog? Let's handle this. You and me, let's get in the ring. Handle your business against Albright, and then let's handle." And Frank Martin looked right at the camera. He made it official with his words. He said, "Okay, it's official. After my fight, I'm going to fight him. We're going to get down. We're going to handle ours." All right, cool. And I was excited for that because I really thought Frank Martin was going to beat this dude. But the fact that it was a draw, like I said, did he lose the fight? No, because it was a draw, but in a way he did lose because you're supposed to beat this guy. Did Albright win this fight? No, because it was a draw, but in a way he kind of did because he was supposed to lose against Frank Martin. So had Frank Martin took care of business, we could have been talking a heck of a lot more about like, okay, now what's next for Frank Martin? Let's see the Tio Mercado fight. That would have been good. But now that it was a draw and people are like, I don't know, man. Anyway, Oscar Duarte was interviewed by, I think it was by Chris Mannix. Oh, no. It was a chick, I think. It was the chick. I don't know her name, right? Or was it Chris Mannix? Oh, regardless if we interviewed him, right? The fight was canceled. We found that out the day of the fight that it was canceled. I like what Duarte did. Duarte did exactly what he was supposed to do. Raise a little bit of hell, get in the headlines, make people talk about you, talking about that Hitchens is scared. He's ducking me. That's fine. I'm okay with it. Did he really duck him? I don't know. There's all kinds of speculation out there. Did he really get sick? I got no idea. Some people say yes. Some people say heck no. A lot of people are saying like, no, he didn't really get sick. What really happened is the fact that he woke up, realized that he wasn't 100% making that weight anymore. And he just figured, why am I going to go fight this guy Duarte? It's not for a title. He's just defending. Now, he made weight both days. Yeah, he made weight, and that was it. The second weight, because he's defending IBF, and there's no other title on the line. You have to make that 10-pound rehydration. You cannot go over that the next day, and he made that weight, and so did Oscar Duarte. Now, according to them, they are saying that after making the second weigh-in, which the IBF is the only alphabet title that does, or the only alphabet sanctioning body that does that. After that, that's when he got sick. That's when he started throwing up. Is it true? Is it not true? I don't know, dog. I'm not going to go out there and start speculating or anything of that sort. Both seem reasonable. Maybe he did get sick. Mikey called it last week. Mikey called it when we're looking at the wins. He said, guys, look at him. He looks so dry and sucked up. You see the bones just on his face, just like sticking out. And he did. He looked super sucked up. So did he really get sick? I don't know. Could it be that maybe making that weight was a little bit too hard and maybe he didn't feel sick, but maybe he didn't feel 100% either and say like, dog, I don't want to go in there against this dude. For what? I'm not going to win anything. because he really wasn't going to win anything. I mean, outside of the payday, of course. But it's not like Duarte was the IBF champ and he was, Hitchens was going to become IBF champion. No, he was already champ. So he probably woke up, made the weight, still felt dehydrated and said, like, man, you know what, dog? I still feel weak. I still feel out of it. You know what? Cancel this sucker and we'll just say I'm super sick. And that's it. What the heck am I going to go fight this dude for? And who knows? Maybe Hitchens. See, let me tell you guys this, man. This is a part that kind of pisses me off a little bit, okay? If a fighter misses weight or if they get sick because they cannot make the weight, that is it. That is it. They should no longer, nobody should sanction them fighting at that weight class anymore. Forget the penalties, forget all that. I mean, still, because that sucks for Duarte. That sucks for Duarte. Think about that, dog. Think about you put your life on hold and you put your body through hell for 2-3 months in a training camp. Prepare yourself. Physically, mentally. You're getting ready to go to war. And the day of, oh, wait, he's sick. He feels sick, so it's not going to happen anymore. There needs to be some penalty to Hitchens where he needs to pay Duarte for that. But on top of that, just the sanctioning bodies should not sanction a fight again for Hitchens at 140 pounds. And I've been saying that over and over. If a fighter misses weight or he gets sick and has to cancel the fight due to dehydration, that is it. That is it. No commission, no sanctioning body, nobody should allow that fighter ever again to fight at that weight class. You want to fight again? No problem. You move up to the next weight class. Which, by the way, that goes for Virgil Ortiz. Remember, 2 times Virgil Ortiz got sick and had to pull out of a fight trying to make 147 pounds. It was at that time, that moment, where everybody in boxing, the commissions, the sanctioning bodies, everybody should just say, like, you know what, we're not gonna allow him to fight at 147 anymore. He wants to fight, cool. Keep your boxing career going, but nobody is going to approve him fighting at 147. Because think about the other fighter, man. You went through a full training camp. You put your body through hell. And then you cancel the day of, not even giving them a chance. You didn't even give them a chance to find a replacement. Because you did it super duper duper last minute. I like Duarte, dog. I wanted to see him fight. If Hitchens wasn't going to make it, I really would have hoped that they would have, that Hitchens should have said, the night before, hey, you know what? I can't fight. And find even a tomato can for Duarte to fight. Just to say, like, hey, look, at least that whole training camp and anything isn't for nothing. You're going to get a little bit of action. Let's see if we could find you, even if it's a complete tomato can. Hopefully the tomato can could give you, 3-4 rounds, something. But that's it, dog. That's it. I've been talking about this for a while, man. If you cannot make the weight anymore, I'm gonna move on to the main event right now. But I just want to say this one more time. I won't be too repetitive. But if you miss weight or you get sick because you're too dehydrated and you have to pull out of the fight, due to the weight, due to getting sick from trying to make the weight. That's it. Nobody in boxing should allow you to fight in that weight class anymore. You should be forced to move up to another weight class to avoid things like this. All right, let's move on to the main event. Let me see what you guys are saying. Spencer, I went on a little bit of a rant right there. What's up, JC? What's happening? SS, shout outs, Anthony Bravo. Salute, boxing homies. Did he get stripped? To the best of my knowledge, he hasn't. To the best of my knowledge, he hasn't, which is kind of strange because the IBF, out of all the sanctioning bodies, the IBF, I mean, they're on it, dog. The IBF will strip mofos. They don't care how big. Heck, they stripped Canelo, the face of boxing. So I'm sure they got to do something about this as well. That I do give props to the IBF because they don't care if you're up here or you're way down there. If it's time to strip you, they do strip you for the most part. Let me see. Is Ryan going to take on Rolly Romero? Doesn't. Let's go ahead. Let's get to that. Where's the other Vatos at? Yeah, man. In the beginning, like I said, Mikey can't make it today. David probably should be jumping on here in a few. We'll see. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. He's on the road. He's in Northern California doing some work. You guys know that, man. I had him on my podcast last night on Cholo Trucker, and he talked everything about everything that's happening in Mexico. If you guys don't know, let me just talk about it just real quickly. David is a complete expert when it comes to cartels, California prison gangs and cartels. That's what he did for a living for decades. For decades. He was in law enforcement, working with the cartels, working with California prison gangs. This guy was in the trenches. So, yeah, man, we really had a nice, good conversation about it last night on Cholo Trucker on the Roundtable. If you guys are interested, go check it out. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get to the main event because we do got a good fight tomorrow. Oh, I'm excited for this fight tomorrow. But let's get to the main event. Okay, first of all, let me go ahead and do this. We're talking about Ryan versus Barrios. Okay, first of all, I want to go ahead and do this. Okay. I that's why I put on this camera because I want to go ahead and do this and I want to say this. I am eating my words. I'm eating my words. Henry Garcia, I was wrong. You did a great job. You did a great job working Ryan's corner. Last week I had said, who the heck is he? Does he train anybody? I don't think he can, I don't think he can help Ryan, do much for Ryan. He did an impeccable job in that corner. So I am eating my words. I was wrong. Good stuff. And congratulations. Great performance. Okay. So I had never seen Ryan get in so deep to his Mexican roots like he did for this fight. I never had, dog. I don't think I've ever seen him come out with like a big Mexican flag. I never really seen him do too much like that. But he did for this one, right? Barrios obviously comes out with the whole Aztec thing. That's his shtick and everything. From the beginning of the fight, right from the first round, it was clear. I thought it was going to be over pretty damn fast. I did, dog. It was very, very clear that Ryan was just on another level. He was just on another level. Barrio, he had no answer for the speed. He had no answer for the pops, for the snap of the punches. All Barrios was able to do was just keep the guard up. And even with that guard up, Ryan was going around the guard with that right hand, nailing Barrios. And in the first round, he hits him like right on top of the temple, drops Barrios. And I'm thinking, okay, this is where he's going to finish him. I'm thinking, I'll be real. I'm thinking to myself, I hope the fight doesn't end right now. I wanted to go a few more rounds, just to see a little bit more back and forth, man. I don't want to see it. I don't want it to be over just in the first round. It was a really good performance by Ryan. But I'm going to be honest, man. At some point, it got a little boring. Every round seemed to be the same thing. There were times where Ryan picked it up a little bit more. Some rounds here, some rounds there, where Ryan picked it up a little bit more and did a little bit more damage. Last week, it was G Funky that called in and said, Barrios, he doesn't have a second gear. And you know what? Straight up, dog. Barrios, whatever Barrios was doing in the first round is the exact same thing that he was doing in the last round and every round in between. There were no adjustments. Joe Goosen, I don't know what Goosen was doing. I don't know what they trained on. Goosen worked with Ryan, I don't know, what, 2-3 fights? You got no answers, no adjustments, nothing at all. Some could say like, oh, well, I mean, Goosen can only do so much. He's working the corner. This is on Barrios. Barrios isn't the one in the ring fighting. Yes, I agree. What are you guys working on in training camp, though? Goosen knows exactly how Ryan fights. What Barrios did in the first round is exactly what Barrios did in every round after that. I didn't give Barrios a round, not one round. Somebody could go ahead and give him a round. That's fine. Let me see. Barrios is the Aztec and Ryan was. Come on. Gosh, a little history there, huh? Barrios wasn't expecting the hook shots. No, he wasn't. Maybe he was just expecting the left hook. But that right hook just kept coming behind the guard, just getting them, nailing them. And I'll give this to Barrios, man, okay? I think he is a tough guy. I think he can take punches. I don't think he's a good boxer. There's no tricks with him. He's always the bigger guy, but the guy never uses his height. He never uses his reach. He just puts his guard up and let's just exchange. Henry Garcia, on the other hand, I loved everything I saw in that corner from Henry. Everything that he was telling Ryan. When he told Ryan, hey, don't open up too much with your uppercuts, okay? Because he's going to figure it out. Keep it closed up a little bit more. You're opening a lot. And I thought, wow, that's really good because Ryan was opening up to get a lot of leverage with his uppercuts. And in the entire fight, I was thinking that Barrios, maybe he could land one shot and maybe change the trajectory of the fight. But it never happened. He was definitely outclassed every single round. I gave every single round to Ryan. It's exactly what Ryan Garcia needed. Somebody texted me after. He's all like, hey, is Ryan Garcia, is he back? My answer to that is this. Ryan Garcia is on a fight-to-fight basis. Do I want Ryan to take boxing serious? Do I want Ryan to have some really good fights? Do I want Ryan to, give his life to boxing and take it extremely serious and do some damage in the sport? Yes, I do. But we have seen time and time and time again what's up with this kid. So to me, he is on a fight to fight basis. Now, some people are giving him a lot of props, like I just give him some props. And then some people are saying, like, come on, dog, he fought Barrios. Of course he was going to look good. I think there's truth on both sides, or maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle. I'd like to know from you guys, what does Barrios do from here? For damn sure, there's no rematch. There's no need for a rematch. It's not like it was a close fight. What's next for Ryan? Well, I mean, it's not going to be a Conor Benn. We know that Conor Benn is fighting Regis Prograis. All right. A Shakur Stevenson fight. Look, even though people are excited for that one, I think most people will actually be more excited to if he fights Devin Haney. Look, I would much rather see him fight Haney and Rolly Romero. I really would. For 144 catch weight, now I saw a community post, but I never looked into it. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys know this. But apparently, I don't know this to be true, but apparently Shakur has said, you know what? Forget the catch weight. Let's just fight at 147. I don't know that to be true. I saw that on a community post on YouTube. If that's true, okay, now we're talking. But I don't want Ryan to go down to any catch weight. Ryan is a big dude. Look, and if Ryan's a big dude for 147, hell, Barrios is even a bigger dude for 147. Barrios should be moving up to 154. However, if he moves up to 154, I mean, he needs to be fighting nothing but tomato cans up there, dog, because all those dudes are going to kill him. All those dudes are going to kill him. Now, can he move up to 154 and fight, a complete tomato can or two and look somewhat decent, and then maybe say, like, I want Virgil Ortiz. I mean, Ortiz will kill the dude. But yeah, I guess maybe he can do that. But this was his look. I'll go ahead. I'll get back to Ryan Garcia in a second. But look, I'll give it to Mario Barrios for staying relevant as long as he did. Think about Mario Barrios, right? As much as everybody said that this dude is no good, I never really said that. I said, like, look, I kind of like the guy to a certain degree. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's good. I think he's all right. But think about what Barrios did, man. Okay. He fought Tank Davis. Okay. Yes, he got knocked out. Okay. There was a rehydration clause there, but Tank Davis knocked him out. Okay. He fought Tank Davis. He fought Urdenis Ugas when Ugas was on a high. I mean, for those who are going to say, like, wow, who the heck is Ugas? Ugas was actually on a high, man. Ugas beat Pacquiao at that time. So Ugas was a little bit on a high. He got in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, 46 Manny Pacquiao. I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to convince you guys that Barrios is great. I'm trying to tell you guys that even though Barrios is super mediocre, look at the accomplishments they did, man. He did a good job to stay relevant in some of these fights that are, at least for his stature, these are some pretty big fights for him. Fighting a Tank Davis, fighting a Ugas, a guy that beat Manny Pacquiao, fighting Manny Pacquiao in his return fight, and now fighting Ryan Garcia on pay-per-view. Whoever's managing his career, they did a pretty good job. They did a pretty good job. You get this guy who's mediocre, and you got him some pretty big paydays, some pretty big fights. And I think that's it. I think that's run its course. I don't see Mario Barrios in any of these big fights. I don't see him on pay-per-view anymore. If he does fight on pay-per-view, it's going to be on the undercard. I don't even see it on a co-main event. It's going to be somewhere in the undercard. But I give it up to his manager. They They kept him relevant. They kept him relevant. No, he agreed to 140. Yeah, Ryan's not going to do that. Ryan's for the belt. Yeah, no. No. I heard that Barrios was going to call it quits. Really? Mm. So I take it that was not true. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. But maybe it is. I don't know how much he got paid for this fight, but as far as big paydays, I think it's over for him. I think that's it. I think it's just, downward from here. But anyway, going back to Ryan Garcia, unless Shakur is moving up fully to 147, I don't want to see Ryan fight Shakur. I'd rather see him fight Rolly Romero or Devin Haney. The Devin Haney fight, I think, has a little bit more bad blood, but I definitely want to see that fight. I think that fight actually sells more than any other fight right now that Ryan can get involved in. Again, Conor Benn, he's going to be fighting Regis Prograis, that's weird already. But I want to see Ryan versus Haney. And I do want to see Ryan versus Romero again. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. Ryan said he's going down to 140. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. He said if he focus, he can make. That would be gosh awful because you know what? He looks somewhat sucked up at 147. So I hope he doesn't do that. I hope he doesn't do that, man. Not smart. I mean, look. All right, let me go ahead and say this about Ryan Garcia, okay? And a lot of you guys, you think I'm going to praise the guy, but I'm going to be honest, okay? I'm going to be honest with this. I give it up to Ryan because the dude is willing to fight anybody and everybody. When he fought Tank Davis, he agreed to a catch weight, knowing he couldn't make 135 anymore. And by the way, the catch weight was 136. At that point, Ryan wasn't even making 140. Ryan Garcia never fought at 140 pounds. It was always above. He never made 140. But he agreed to a 136 catch weight with a rehydration clause. Now we saw what happened. But I do give it to Ryan that the kid's got balls. Is he a little bit wacko in the head? Yes, he is. Do I think he stands a chance against Shakur Stevenson? I'm going to tell you guys this, okay? And I'm going to get to the Pacquiao-Mayweather thing too. Ryan stands a chance against Shakur. Yes, I'm not saying he beat Shakur, but I'm telling you guys why he stands a chance against Shakur. Shakur Stevenson is a pure boxer, okay? And he is always the taller, longer guy. Think about the great guys that he's fought, right? When he fought Oscar Valdez, shorter, with shorter arms. Okay? Every time he fights, he's always the taller guy with longer arms, and he uses that, and he uses it very, very well. Which is like Mayweather when he fought Marquez. Yeah, he didn't make weight. Marquez is a great fighter, but Mayweather, pure boxer, taller with longer arms. He dominated him. He fought Pacquiao. Again, shorter guy with shorter arms. And I had said many years ago, I had said, you know who would give a better fight to Mayweather than Pacquiao would? Amir Khan. Not because Amir Khan is a great fighter. Not because Amir Khan. Pacquiao will knock out Amir Khan. He will knock him out cold. But the reason why is because Amir Khan is tall, long arms, and he's fast. And that is what will give Mayweather problems. Shakur Stevenson, as long as he keeps fighting dudes shorter than him with shorter arms, he will completely dominate. So while you have great fighters that are shorter with shorter arms, he will dominate. Is Ryan Garcia a great fighter? No, but he's tall with some long arms and he's fast. That will give Shakur Stevenson problems. So whenever this whole thing, like, oh man, so you think Ryan is better? Again, the whole thing. What is it in boxing? Styles make fights. The triangle theory doesn't count. Styles make fights. Give me a great fighter that is shorter with shorter arms. Put him up against Shakur Stevenson. Stevenson will win. Even though that shorter fighter is a better fighter than Ryan Garcia, Ryan Garcia will give Shakur bigger problems. Because Ryan is fast with longer arms and he's tall. So the only way I believe that Shakur completely dominates is, if he takes him down to 140 or they meet at some catch weight. I hope Ryan doesn't do that. I mean, you got to give Ryan some sort of respect because he wants to make the fights. Like, cool, kind of like what Oscar did in his day. I mean, how crazy is it when you think about it? Oscar de la Hoya fought Manny Pacquiao way down here, and then he fought Bernard Hopkins way up here, and all the weights in between. Like, good gosh, dog. But at the same time, you got to be smart about it. So, in my opinion, look, I want to see Ryan fight Devin Haney. That's the fight I want to see. I want to see him fight Rolly Romero. I would like to see him fight Shakur, yes, but I want to see it at 147. And I do think Ryan stands a chance. Not because he's a better fighter than Shakur, but because styles make fights. And Shakur he's used to dominating with his style, being the taller guy with longer arms. That's not going to happen against Ryan. Ryan is a tall guy, long arms, he's got speed, and he's got power. That's what will give Shakur problems. Everybody keeps on saying, oh, man, what about this great fighter? Is he short? Is he shorter than Shakur? Does he have shorter arms than Shakur? Then it doesn't matter. That's Shakur's wheelhouse. So it doesn't matter. You need to get a taller guy with longer arms that is fast. Doesn't matter if he's a great fighter or not. That's what will get Shakur out of his comfort zone. So either way it goes, it'll be cool. Let me see. He said he's focused. Okay, I agree. Haney is the fight to watch. Yeah, I want to see that fight. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get to because we do got a fight to get into tomorrow. It's official. Mayweather Pacquiao 2. I am excited. I do want to watch this. I do want to see this fight. Maybe I'm the only one. That's cool. I do want to watch this fight. Why? And by the way, I'm going to tell you guys this. This fight is going to be better than the first one. Now, apparently, both of them are supposed to have an exhibition before they fight each other. I'm going to tell you guys this. I don't think those exhibition fights happen. Pacquiao's supposed to have an exhibition with Ruslan Provodnikov. Guy, are you kidding me? Those dudes those Eastern Europeans don't know what the hell an exhibition is. Haven't you seen the movie Rocky IV? Ruslan Provodnikov, are you kidding me? I know that dude hasn't fought in years. But good gosh, dog, dog, there's no exhibition with that fool, homie. That dude's a straight killer. All those Eastern European dudes are, man. Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed thought he was in an exhibition match. Look what happened to him. Well, we don't get no exhibition match with a freaking Ruslan Provodnikov, dog. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you guys this, man. I don't think and Mayweather, apparently they're still working on the April fight date for, in the Congo with Mike Tyson. I'm telling you guys this, man. I don't think the exhibition matches happen. Those are just a waste, especially the Ruslan Provodnikov fight. Are you kidding me? There's really not going to be money in that. At least with Mayweather and Tyson, there might be some money. But in reality, this rematch is going to top it all. And I'm telling you guys this. It will be better than the first fight. And on top of it, remember this, guys. Remember this, Chingones. All right? The first time they fought, that pay-per-view was what, 1999? 100 bolas, dog. Like, good gosh, and it was a complete letdown. This time it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. If they were to charge $99.99 again, oh yeah, forget about it. I don't think people will pay for it. I mean, there'll be some that pay for it. But it's on Netflix, dog. I mean, what? And it's going to be better than the first fight. Why would it be better than the first fight? Well, let me tell you guys why it's going to be better than the first fight. For number one, the bar is on the ground, dog. The ground is on the piso. Because that first fight was that first fight was like the beginning of American boxing just going down the drain. Because here you had one of the most hyped fights in boxing history. And it turned out to be a complete dud. The whole world stopped for this fight. And that fight sucked. Gosh, that fight was terrible. So the bar is already on the ground. You can only go up, even if it's just one step, even just a baby step. But secondly, why I think is it'd be a better fight. Now, I'm not exaggerating and saying like, man, this is going to be a war. No. But secondly, these guys are older. Their reflexes, all that has slowed down. Their defense, all that has slowed down. Mayweather is not as fast with his defense as he used to be. There's going to be more openings. Again, I'm not saying there's going to be a super duper action-packed fight. I'm just saying it will be better than the first one. Because their reflexes has slowed down. They're not as fast. They don't see the punches coming as quick. So there will be a little bit more offense. There might be a lot more holding, yeah. But the bar's on the ground. And in my opinion, this is their chance to stack that undercard with up-and-coming fighters that you want to make stars. So I do want to see this fight. I do. Because it's on Netflix. Like I said, had it been pay-per-view, I'd be singing a whole different song. I'd be singing a whole different song right now. Let me see. April 18th is going down with that. Kill it. I don't think it's gonna happen, man. I don't think it's gonna be happening. I saw you guys doing this. Be an exhibition. Duke. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Pacquiao goes on with that Ruslan Provodnikov exhibit. Those dudes don't believe in exhibitions, dog. You can't go in and Ruslan Provodnikov. I'm sure I get it. The dude's washed up, but so is Pacquiao. Exhibition with that dude? Are you kidding me? You got a big payday coming up with Mayweather. That fight's not going to happen. That exhibition, whatever. Honestly, I don't care to see Mayweather make any more feria in boxing. Wow, he's got to make feria somehow, man, because he's broke and he owes a lot of people, jewelers, all kinds of people. Mayweather also said he's making a comeback fight after the Pacquiao fight. I'm sure he says that, but whatever he gets paid for the Pacquiao fight, I think that's it. I think for both of these guys, that's it, man. I don't think they fight after this. Let's see what happens, but I doubt it. I don't think so. I think they get a good payday, and that's about it. All right, man. Look, Damn, we already hit the hour mark. All right. Abel Ramos fights tomorrow against Smalls, which I like Ramos, dog. Is it Abel or is it the other Ramos? Let me see. But I like him, dog. He'll never be a great fighter, but yeah, Abel Ramos against Smalls. I'm interested in that fight, but Smalls, he's an undefeated fighter, so definitely be keeping an eye on that. All right, Emiliano Vargas. Let me see. I had this up, but when I first started the live, this sucker just jacked up on me. Okay. All right, so Emiliano Vargas fights in the co-main tomorrow against the Argentinian guy, Quintana. Quintana, 22, 2, and 1. I have his 22 victories. He's got 13 knockouts. Emiliano Vargas, undefeated, right? 6-0, but 13 by knockouts. I don't know much about this Quintana dude, but it looks like he's built to give Emiliano a few rounds. It looks like he's built to give him a few rounds. And, for Emiliano, this is going to be a co-main event. So, it's always good to see Emiliano get in there and fight. And I hope they can get Emiliano in the undercard of Mayweather-Pacquiao too. I hope they can. Because he's an up-and-coming star. This is where you got to get all these up-and-coming stars, dog. Stack them in this undercard of this Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, right? Obviously, they both made weight, and Emiliano, I don't need to say it, dog, but definitely out of all the Vargas brothers, that's the guy right there. Let me see what you guys are saying. Nothing but love for boxing, Cholo, Tricker from Nebraska, yeah. Ivan Drago, true that. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. If I'm part of Pacquiao's team, I'm telling them we're not doing this exhibition with Probanikov, dog. Those guys, they don't know what an exhibition match is, dog. They got no idea. They're in there to kill, Holmes. They are in there to kill. You know what I mean? All right, so this is going to be a good one. Like I said, I don't know much about Quintana, but hopefully he puts on a good fight. Let's get to the main event here. Eddie Hearn back there after that. Okay, so let's get to the main event. Here we go, man. This is going to be a firefight in Arizona, Holmes. All right, so Sugar Nunes versus Navarrete, El Vaquero. Vaquero does everything in boxing wrong, but the guy wins. Okay, he doesn't have good boxing skills. All he has, Vaquero is basically like Tony Montana. Hey, all I have is my word and my balls, and I don't break them for nobody. He's not a good boxer. There's not a lot of boxing skills there, but when he says he's coming to fight, which is his word, that's what he means. And when he says he's got balls, he gets in there and he shows that he got balls, dog. And that's all it really takes for Navarrete, homie. There's really nothing to break down with Navarrete's style, because his style is just like, I'm coming to whoop your ass, homie. That's it. Ain't nothing else to it. Sugar Nunes actually has a little bit more of a boxing style, a little bit better of a boxing style. So I give Nunes, now he's a little bit shorter. He's a little bit shorter than Navarrete here. Let me put him back. But it's not like Navarrete really extends his jab and uses the whole ring and uses his height and everything like that. Navarrete just kind of, hey, just puts the guard up, meet me in the middle of the ring, Holmes, and let's see, bite down on the mouthpiece, and let's just see who the tougher SOB is, right? That's all it really is. This would be a fun fight. I'm going to pick Navarrete on this, unless Nunes turns it into a little bit more of a boxing match. It doesn't need to be boring. He doesn't need to be boring. You can be a boxer and still make it a good fight. Just because you're a pure boxer doesn't mean you have to be boring. You could still be a pure boxer and still make it an exciting fight. We already know Navarrete is just bringing the action. Nunes, I don't think it's a good idea for him just to stay in the pocket and let's just bite down on the mouthpiece and let's just see who's left standing. I don't think it's a good idea. I think you should use the ring a little bit, use your feet a little bit. Navarrete doesn't really have boxing skills like that. You could start spinning them around, start making them a little bit dizzy, invest some shots into the body. Navarrete is just an awkward dude to fight, man. He's just an awkward dude to fight. But I got Navarrete on this one. Because unless your conditioning is impeccable, he's going to just walk you down and you are going to be forced to just engage in a complete firefight. Let me see. I got Mexican Cowboy by knockout. Man, does he stop him? Okay, does he stop Sugar Nunes? I don't know, man. I do pick Navarrete. Emiliano has step up level skills. Well, yeah, I mean, this is a step up for Emiliano. We'll see what happens here. Mexican style boxing, real man boxing, yeah, for dang sure, dog. Maybe he does stop Nunes, Sugar Nunes. I'm not going to predict that. I'm not going to predict it, but I do have Navarrete winning. I think here's how I think it go down. I think Nunes is going to give him some problems in the first 5 rounds. And then after that, he's just going to realize he's just using way too much energy, trying to box Navarrete. And he's going to be forced to just get in a firefight with him. And it's just going to be the battle of will. Because that's what Navarrete really is, dog. It's just the battle of will. I'll just bite down on my mouthpiece, homie, and you're not going to outwill me. And that's what's fun to watch, dog. And, I got Navarrete winning this fight. All right. So, anyway, all right. David wasn't able to make it on, man. Shout outs to our boy, David Contreras. He's out there doing some law enforcement work. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to Mike Zavala. He couldn't be on here. Next Friday, I'm not sure if I will be able to be on here. The boys, hopefully they could jump on. But next Friday, maybe I won't be on here. But I'll be dropping a couple of things probably here and there next week. Outside of that, there you guys have it, man. There's a lot more news going on in boxing, dog. It's really starting to pick up, man. It's exciting. But gracias to all the chingones and chingonas tapping in today. And whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing it. So we'll come back and do it again. Enjoy the fights. Catch you guys on next round.